Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the SBNG podcast, Not Just Numbers, the SBNG Experience, where you get a backstage pass to firm life. I'm Yesenia, I'm the firm culture and branding ambassador, so I'll be asking all the questions today. But enough about me, I'm super excited because we're kicking off our first episode with Dani.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you.
Dani is an audit senior too who's taken 3 out of the 4 CPA exams. She has a ton of insight not just on the exams, but on choosing accounting, on lessons she's learned, and things she wishes she would have known before starting a job in accounting. So, Dani, welcome.
Thank you. I'm very happy, very excited to be
We're
here.
So happy to have you. So, let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
Was accounting always the plan, or did it just kind of happen?
It just kind of happened. So when I was in middle school, I turned in a project. I can't even remember what the project was, but my teacher just told me, you pay a lot of attention to detail, you'd be a good accountant. And then I went into high school, and it was just always like, I guess accounting, like, I'll think about it later. And then I never thought about it, and I guess no other major ever really called my attention,
Mm-hmm.
So when it came time to do college apps, I chose accounting for everything. And I took my first couple of classes, and I actually liked them. So I was like, yeah, this was a good choice.
This is it.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, my middle school teacher.
Shout out to the middle school teacher.
Yeah.
Well, do you know her name?
Mrs. Dean at Hornado Middle School.
There you go.
I don't know
Shout
if
out
she's still
Mrs.
there.
Dean,
but
if you're still there.
yes.
So everyone kind of has their aha moment in their career where it's like, this is my path, or they kind of pivot and change something.
Mhm.
So what was your aha moment?
Well, in school, I had one where, so intermediate accounting 1, it's supposed to be called they call it like the weeding out class, because apparently a lot of people drop out of accounting during that class. It's supposed to be hard. Took the first exam, spring 2020 semester, so COVID. Took the first exam in person. Professor gave the study guide, I went through it. Any questions I had, I discussed with him. Got like a 97 on the exam, and I was like, okay, this is great. COVID happens, we switch online. Second exam comes around, I study the same exact way as I did for the first one, because, I got a 97, so I'm going to keep my process.
Right.
And I failed that exam.
No.
Keep in mind, this was the one exam I failed the entire time I was in college, so for me, it was like my world came crashing down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to be one of those people that drop out of accounting in the weeding class. I was stressed. Third exam comes around, I study even harder. I review all my notes. I talk to the professor. He also ended up changing the exam. I think the second one, not a lot of people did good in, which first exam online, understandable.
Right.
First time online classes because COVID. I did really well on the third exam, and then I did really well on my final, and I was still able to get an A in the class. So that was the moment where I was like, okay, if I could recover from my failed exam, I'm meant to be an accountant.
There you go.
That was my aha moment.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So what do you love most about what you do now, which is audit?
I think my favorite part is being on the field. Every audit is different. And even if you work on the same client year after year, it's always different. They're always doing different stuff. They'll have an unusual transaction that requires more complex accounting. So yeah, I guess there's no 2 days that are the same. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But in the same way, there's still a sense of routine. I know these are my clients that I work on from year to year. It's not like they change their operations. So the general areas of the audit, you already know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
I think as accountants, everyone appreciates some sort of structure and order, balance.
Yeah.
Stereotypical accounting stuff,
Yeah.
So that's my favorite part. And the teamwork, of course. I'm a big yapper. So
I feel like audit is I feel like accounting, and it's accounting by itself is a very yapper career.
I've never done industry accounting, but I could see it being a little more, I don't know, I've always seen it as a more individual job.
Okay.
So when I started audit and it was a lot of teamwork and there's a lot of talking, I really appreciated that because I think I'm like a social butterfly. You've seen me around the office, Yesenia.
This is why she's the first.
Yeah, I love talking.
Episode. Yeah.
I don't shut up. So I really appreciate that part about audit.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So now it's time to talk about the CPA exams. It is so crazy. you've taken 3 of the 4.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts with it now that, like, where you are now? Are you ready for the next one?
No, just because we're in busy season right now. So, I wasn't going to do that to myself and study and do overtime at the same time.
Yeah.
But I do already have the study materials, and I haven't scheduled the exam, but my plan is to take it June 16th. So the second busy season is over. I'm going to start studying, and that's my main focus, to pass the 4th one and be done with it. It's I think everyone will agree it's a lengthy process, and it's definitely a time-consuming process. You know, you don't pass the exams from flipping over the book a couple of times. Like, you dedicate your time to studying, and it takes, I would say it takes, for even the smartest person on earth, at least a month to study for each exam. Hours-based, I think the one I studied for the least was audit, and I think I did like 80 to 90 hours.
Okay.
And the other 2, FAR and the tax one, I think I passed the 100-hour mark.
Wow.
Yeah, so definitely time consuming.
Dedication.
It's really nice to see your hard work pay off when you log into the portal and you see the pass
Yeah.
on there. It feels so good that you're like, okay, it took me such a long time, 100 hours, but I passed.
Yeah.
I also feel like when you're about to start, it feels like this massive mountain in front of you, and you're like, how am I ever going to start? Like, how am I going to pass all of them? But it's really just taking that first step to, like, okay, which one am I going to take first, and taking it. I think once you do that, it goes by faster than you realize.
Yeah.
Because I started testing June of 2024, and by January 25, I had passed 3 of them already. And
Wow.
I mean, it just didn't feel that long to me, honestly. It feels like it went by so fast.
Wow. That's really good. So since you have that experience, I guess for people who don't know, when you take the exam, how fast do the results come back?
My understanding is that the testing windows in 2024 were a little whack. So I think every exam I've taken, it's taken me at least a month to get my scores back.
Okay.
There was very limited windows, and I think it had to do with the fact that in 2024, they dropped the BEC exam, and they split it into 3 different discipline sections, and you pick which one you take. I could be wrong, but that's my understanding of it. 2025 has way more testing windows. So I feel like maybe you could even drop down to, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks to get your results, depending on when you take your exam in the testing window as well.
Okay. So a lot of people say that the CPA exams are like one of the hardest professional exams.
Yes, I would agree.
So what is something that people don't really talk about?
This is a good question. I was actually on the Becker website a couple of days ago, and I don't know if I had already said this on the podcast, but I was convinced I was going to fail my 3rd exam.
Oh, no.
Like, I was so convinced. I started planning out how I was going to restudy and when I was going to retake it. Like, I was convinced I was going to fail it. It was the tax one. I don't know. I thought it was even harder than the FAR, but I did better than in FAR, actually. So, and when I was on the Becker website, I saw an article that said something about, like, what to do after you fail an exam. And I feel like it's pretty well known that these exams don't have really high pass rates, but I've honestly never heard of anyone talk like, okay, I failed it and then I did this, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's not talked about enough.
Yeah,
So when I saw that article,
failure.
Yeah. So when I saw that article, I saved it too because I thought I was going to need it. Thank God I didn't, but
Thank God.
I was really convinced I was going to fail that exam.
So if you could give yourself advice before you started studying for your exams, what would you say?
I think we tend to, or at least me, I tend to, like, I have to study no matter what. So, like, maybe I'd be really tired from work, or I don't know, I was getting a little sick or whatever, and I would be like, no, it doesn't matter, I have to study. And then later, when I was doing my review, I would realize, like, I don't understand this topic at all. And I feel like it took more time. Like, I had to go back and, like, sort of redo everything. So I think if you know you're in a spot or at a place where you're not really focusing, you're not really retaining information, like, for example, you had a long day at work, and then you still want to study 2 hours, like, maybe
Yeah.
breaks are deserved.
Take it easy on yourself.
Yeah, take the day off. You'll make up your study hours later. Because I think in the long run, you're gonna end up studying, if not more hours, because you studied it the first time, didn't understand it, or like your brain didn't completely absorb it, and then you have to go back and not even review it, like restudy it, because you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah. That's really good advice.
Yeah.
If you're listening out there, take it easy on yourself.
Take a break.
Take a break. You need it.
You deserve it.
Yeah. Speaking of breaks, I feel like balancing studying and life is a struggle. Like, it's a lot of work.
It is.
So what's some advice that you have or some strategies that helped you that you can share?
So I don't know if this is normal, but I like to plan out my life. Like, I'm a planner. I like to have everything planned out in advance. So what I do, Becker has this really cool feature that's called the study planner. And you put in how many hours you want to study per week and which day you're going to put in what hours, what day you take your exam, and then if you're going to do everything like videos, multiple choice, or if you're going to like take it easier, like it has a bunch of options. And one of the options is also like break days. So maybe like days where you're supposed to study, but for whatever reason you're not going to be able to. So I usually go through my calendar and like, for example, right now I have your wedding in my calendar.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a Friday, right?
Saturday.
Oh, it's a Saturday. Okay, so Saturdays are usually like my long study days.
Okay.
So in Becker, I put like I'm not studying this Saturday. So then it adjusts the hours during the rest of the week to make sure you cover all the material you were supposed to that week without having to study that Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so or if you have a big trip coming up or whatever, like you can put those dates in there. I was like, I'm not studying this day, and Becker adjusts everything, which I think is great.
That's actually really cool. I didn't know. Speaking of Becker, though, let's talk a little bit about SBNG. Kind of put us out there. SBNG actually helps you a lot in becoming a CPA and the CPA journey. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So SBNG pays for the study materials. So what I do is I talk to the audit shareholder. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to start studying for the audit exam. So they order the materials, and then the book gets shipped here to the office. We also get to expense the testing fees because, at least in my experience, those have been increasing year after year, and they add up, especially when it's 4 exams. So that's a really big help. And obviously, there's a bunch of CPAs here that have a lot of experience. Some of them became CPAs like within the last 2 years. So it's pretty fresh in their minds, like the study routines and all of that. It's a really big help being able to go to them and be like, hey, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what exam to take next. I don't know what order to do them in. Now that I'm in the last one I have missing is the discipline one. So the hardest thing, I think, was picking which one I should take. Yeah. And I actually discussed it with one of the managers in audit, one of the shareholders. They were really helpful, and I ended up picking the tax discipline. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes. So yeah, here at SBNG, we help you in becoming a CPA financially, with study material, and also with advice. We have an open door policy, so all shareholders and managers and supervisors have their office, but their door is always open unless they're in an important meeting. And you're always welcome to walk in and ask any question, whether it be a personal question, because shareholders make it a priority to get to know their staff and get to know who's working for them. And they want to know about your life, and they want to know your struggles. And so, like Dani says, she can walk in there and be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what exam to choose, or I don't know which one to take. Yeah. And they'll help you. And that's...
Or even, I don't know, something happens at home and... you know what, I need to cut back on my hours this week or whatever. There's a lot of, they work with you a lot on that. So I'm actually experiencing that this week. I'm dog sitting. So it's really nice to be able to go to them and be like, hey, like I'm doing this, and this. Like, could I leave a few minutes early today? And the answer is usually, I want to say it's usually yes, honestly. They're very flexible, yeah. Yeah.
Unless there's like a really big deadline coming up, I don't think I've ever been told no.
But I think also with deadlines, you usually know about them like in advance.
Exactly.
So at least, well, I like to plan. Like I said, I like to plan. So I plan around my deadlines.
Mind you, my wedding is in, 2 months, if not a little over, and it's already on the calendar.
It's on my calendar. The second she sent the save the date, it's added on the calendar.
It's on the calendar.
You want to hang out this day? Sorry.
Let me check I have to... Nope.
I'm busy, sorry.
So you mentioned taking days off, and here at SBNG, we prioritize mental health. But speaking of mental health, I hear you have a complaint for me
do.
regarding our mental health presentation.
I have a mental health complaint for
Okay,
Yesenia.
let's hear
You did
it.
not help my mental health.
I'm so so sorry.
So Yesenia put together this really nice presentation for us. She brought in the speakers. She made us these really cool goodie bags with like the head scratchers, and these stress balls to squeeze,
Right.
which I enjoyed a lot. And she even gave me an extra one because I was enjoying them so much.
She got one before the presentation,
Yeah.
and then one during the presentation.
So this ball became my emotional support ball. I was taking it everywhere with me. Like I mentioned, in audit, we do a lot of field work. That's what it's called, where we go to the client's office and we work from there. So this one day, I'm at a client's office. It's one of our big clients, and it's like everyone there is very professional. You know, they're all dressed very well. They all look very put together. And I'm there with one of the shareholders and an intern, and I'm squeezing my stress ball, right? And the day before, I had thrown it at the ceiling, and a bunch of the little white specks got stuck on my ball. So when I'm squeezing it, I noticed like a dot on it. And I was like, oh my God, it's probably still part of the ceiling from like when I threw it up. And my logic was I'm going to squeeze the ball so the the material stretches and I can like pick the little dot out of there. So when I squeezed it, it ripped. And it fell all over me at this client's office where everyone is very well dressed. I was wearing light gray pants. My ball was bright purple. And it fell all over my lap.
And mind you, it was like slime. It was like those really squishy ones that would change color if you like squeeze them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was slime.
And then, I mean, I didn't really play with slime growing up. I feel like it's more of a recent thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that consistency is. But this one, like I kept using my one hand to like wipe it off the other. And it was just sticking to the other hand. But then as soon as I put my hands underwater, it literally slipped off. Like it was just such a weird consistency. So there I am sprinting to the bathroom at the client's office. I looked crazy. And then I get in the bathroom. Thank God no one was in there. And I'm just trying everything to get the slime off my pants. I had to work the rest of the day with a purple tint all over my light gray pants.
Well, it came off, right?
It did come off, yes.
I'm glad it washed off. Yeah, we don't owe you pants.
I will not be expensing my pants.
Thank you. I'm glad.
We will just be increasing our stress ball budget.
Our stress ball budget has definitely gone up.
Higher quality.
Significant amount.
Yeah, higher quality stress balls. Yeah. And I also will not throw it at the ceiling anymore.
Yes, that's probably
not a good idea.
Not a great idea.
So that I do take responsibility for that.
Yeah,
I will not do that anymore. I also might not take my stress ball to clients anymore.
Maybe.
Just because it was a humbling experience.
At least you're not alone. I feel like you're alone in like it broke on you. Maybe you're alone on that. But like it did pop on a lot of people.
It did pop. But see, everyone was here at the office when it popped.
Everyone was here.
I was at the clients.
I don't think it got on their clothes.
Got on mine.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
But it's okay. Budget has gone up. We'll have better stress balls next time.
Perfect. I appreciate that. I would like to again.
Okay. But thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been really great having you.
I love being here.
I love it. Before we leave, though, any last advice to somebody who is maybe considering a career in accounting?
In accounting, yes. I feel like everyone sees accounting as like boring. You're at the same desk on the same computer all day. I can't really speak for like industry accounting. I've never done it, but at least public accounting, no 2 days are the same. Clients are always coming up with new ways to surprise you. And like I said, I mean, in audit, we're always doing field work. So really no 2 days are the same. Don't be scared because you think it's going to be boring. There's also a sense of order in accounting. Everything has to balance. There's a place for everything. We have check figures, which I love. I love organization like that. So I would say try it out. Take the first couple of classes in college. And if you like it, if you deem it even a little bit interesting, maybe you can take the next 2 and you'll do good in the intermediate accounting 1 class. And that's how you know it's for you.
Exactly. If you fail an exam, it's not the end of the world.
Because here I am.
Keep moving forward.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, thank you everyone for listening to our first episode of Not Just Numbers. Dani, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me here. I'd love to come back whenever you would have me. I love this.
Of course. Please remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at SBNG CPA, and then keep an eye out on Spotify for our new episodes of the podcast weekly, hopefully. So thank you again for listening, and have a great day. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.